smell of money. Taking my niggas out the hood, make sure they never bum me. Taking your bitches out your arms with the killer swag. Seeing that most you niggas fake, now I don't feel as bad. Feeling spaz, and he already on the beat. Hope my niggas see me, don't mind me, R.I.P.
Witness the reappearance of Sinister. Rob Swift. It's over ready.
Odd couple, ominous, obviously they opposites. Obscenely occupy the records with the hands of octopus. Opposition, open the oculus, overconfident, obstinate, off-center, incompetent, waste of oxygen. Populist, pop the popular, beautiful pile playlist. P Professor Swift, the palette spin, the perfect picture painted, pay the piper, pile of paper if the people are pros. Point to pump the bicep, brolic on the battle imposed. So see the spinning record, sizzle is swift and sinister, slay it, send your sense of sound to Shangri-La to see what sages say.
Yo, what is going on? Good evening, America. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Japan. Good night, Montenegro.
What's up, Jamaica? Welcome back to another episode.
Wagwan, sorry.
What's up, Guan? And welcome back to another episode of Quality Time TV. You already don't know who it is, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. I go by the name of DJ Deem. What's up, y'all?
Yo, you don't know who it is, but now you do. It's your boy LAUD. You already know BX Uptown is in the building. Gun Hill, B-Roll, Co-op City, the whole Uptown. Represent yourself.
You get so much points for how much you rep, like, the Bronx.
Like, the Bronx, bro.
Hey, bro.
They do, bro. I done been born here, raised here, grew up here, still here.
I respect
Bronx,
it.
I soon get out. You feel me? But that being said, we got some very, we got some legendary, very special. We got some legendary guests tonight on the show. Please introduce yourselves, my friends.
What up, y'all? This is DJ Rob Swift. You know it's your boy, Mista Sinista, yo.
Yes.
Word. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show and everything that you guys have done. We really respect your work, man. Seriously.
Yo, beyond, bro. I'm not gonna hold you like I was telling y'all before we started. Once I seen Rob crossfade with his cheeks, like literally shitting on niggas, I was like, come on, blood. Like, what can you tell them? That shit, y'all are amazing at what y'all do, man. Very much. For real.
Seriously. And at the beginning of this, but when we just started the stream, we played your recent single that you guys put out. Could you guys give us a little bit of background, what you guys are working on?
Yeah, we, over the course of the last, I guess, it took us like 6 months to finish the album.
Like 6 months. Roughly.
So, yeah, like the first 6 months of the year, Mista Sinista and I spent putting together an EP, self-entitled EP called The Odd Couple. And over the summer, I pitched it to various labels. One of the labels that I pitched the EP to was Fool's Gold. And many people might be familiar with Fool's Gold. That's A-Track. Yep. And A-Track is a world-renowned, very respected master DJ. And we've known him since he was a teenager, since he was like 14, 15 years old. Yeah, and now as an adult, he's like one of the world's most best, well-known, celebrated DJs. And it's just funny how we've come full circle because we put him on in the New York scene when he was coming up as a teenager, DJing, entering competitions. And now as an adult, he's putting his big brothers back on the scene and releasing this project for us on his label, Fool's Gold. So we just put out the first single this past Friday called The Reappearance, featuring our boy, The Real DMT. and November 14th we'll be dropping the full-length EP.
Word.
Oh,
So make sure y'all go
definitely
check that out. Make sure y'all go check that out. Right now, where could they find the single right now?
If you don't mind, I also want to shout out the other artists and producers on the EP. We have J Live on a song called Nothing to It. We got Breeze Ever Flowing on a song called Demolition Man. And those two songs were produced by our mentor, Dr. Butcher. We got another song called Style Murderer, produced by Aton Noise, featuring Uptown Bodega and Chubbs, and the Real DMT on the reappearance, and a track called The Force. Ultimate Force, I should say. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's a dope project, and we're getting a lot of love for it, and hopefully, yeah, man, it'll blow up.
Excited to hear it. Make sure y'all go check that out. Check that out. Where could they find that, by the way?
Everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, visit foolsgold.com for more information, but pretty much anywhere you buy your music or stream your music,
it's there.
Yeah, it's there. Exactly.
Sounds good. And just want to go into the chat real quick. Got a couple of fans in here too, by the way. Alex in Wonderland. She says the single is fire. She says the single is fire. She says, "What's up, y'all?" Who else we got?
Billy.
We also got Miss Cece, baby. What's up? Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Seuss, thank you for tuning back in. Urban Classic, what's up? DJ Fame, what's up, bro? Thank you for tuning in. Tiaro. She says we're on time today. Yes,
I know, right? For once.
All right, but as we know, speaking of being on time, Instagram likes to cut us off after an hour. So let's go ahead and hop into these topics that we got for today. First topic that we have is recently Kanye West got on Big Boy. Big Boy did an interview with Kanye West, I should say. And during the interview, Kanye says that hip hop has no culture. He says that it's influenced by other people. We'll call them white people for now. And we got a clip of that. Let's go ahead and actually run that. Clip, yeah. Bro.
Let's say you turned your back on the culture or
exactly
black
100%. I have turned my back on the idea of victimization mentality. We are locked up. We went from 1 and 4. We went from 1 and 4 to 1 and 3, but we always pointing at the white people, but yet we want to spend all of our money on foreigns. We want to spend all our money on luxury as opposed to going and buying some land. America is for sale, and there's a lot of barren land. Disney bought a lot of it in Florida, but the culture has you focused so much on fucking somebody bitch and pulling up in a foreign and rapping about things that could get you locked up and then saying you about prison reform. Like, it's, bro, we brainwashed out here, bro. Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
Taking a knee at a football game, wearing, expensive clothes, rapping about just rap, period. Making money from rap, making money from basketball. Before I get to my point, can we name some other things that you say are part of the culture? Buying jewelry. What are some of the other things that we see on the culture? Using social media is a very major part of the culture. To be down with or with the culture, you have to use social media, right? What other things? Okay, now I'm gonna just get to my point right now. None of these things that you need to be involved in order to be down with the culture are owned by black people. So who designed the culture?
What do you say to people that say you turned your back on the culture or
exactly?
All right. So that was Kanye West, Mr. West himself, saying that hip hop has no culture because it's not designed by black people. I want to get your thoughts on that. How do you guys feel about hip hop culture? Do you believe that there is a hip hop culture?
Kanye West, man.
Yo, when somebody starts a line off like that.
Nah, that's real as fuck.
Look, here's my opinion about the guy. Like, he likes to pontificate,
Good, great word.
Yeah,
Yes,
he likes to hear himself speak on
preach.
and it's not necessarily to serve his audience. It's to make himself seem like the genius that he believes he is. So with regards to whether or not hip hop has or hasn't a culture, my thing is, what is the definition of culture? Right? So is culture ownership, or is culture about customs and traditions? And for me, culture is about customs and traditions. And there's a tradition of DJing and practicing and entering battles to get your name out. There's a tradition with regards to DJing of passing on what you know to younger DJs so that they can then shine and blossom into famous DJs, well-known DJs that are making money and earning a living. Culture is being influenced by a song to become an MC and write your own lyrics, or listening to a song and your favorite producer, whether it's Kanye West or whoever, is putting together music in a way that's inspiring you to want to and be creative music. Culture is about customs and tradition and passing those things on. So for me, I have no idea what this dude's talking about, because culture and ownership are not the same thing. He's trying to make it the same thing to, again, make this point that, like, we're not in control of hip hop. And it really depends on what your definition of culture is and what your definition of hip hop is, because in that clip that you guys just played, he doesn't talk about graffiti. He doesn't talk about breakdancing. He doesn't talk about DJing. He talks about IG, social media. Right. That has nothing to do with hip hop. Right.
The culture, facts.
Right. So basically, Kanye West is just being Kanye West, and you can't take that too serious, man. Like, if he says something, you kind of just have to let it be and exist, and then kind of die. And you know what I mean? Because the more we talk about that dude, then he kind of grows like a fucking I don't know. I don't want to like say like you know, the guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Honestly, I agree 100%. To me, if he had said we're not in control of the means of I guess getting exposure for the culture, or like broadcasting the culture to the world, yes, 100% I agree, and that's why everybody needs to join Quality Time now, but shameless plug. But legitimately, I'm happy you said that, because at first I was agreeing with him, like, yo, we really don't like own the culture. We really don't own the means of creating the images that are expressed to the world that represent us as a people. And that's not true. That's not necessarily true, because a lot of the times we create culture that the world uses. Matter of fact, majority of the time we do. Hip hop is culture, like, or is American culture. What the hell is American culture? Hot dogs and hamburgers? Like, what that's not even American culture. You feel exactly. You feel me? So hip hop, I guess, that is directly a product of America, like, as far as slavery, as far as black people being held down, needing to express themselves in ways that were non-violent, so they decided to battle each other on the mic instead of in the streets and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's actually part of our culture, and that's what being American is. So yeah, you're right, we are in control of the culture. We're just not in control of the means of getting it out to the rest of the world, and that's why a lot of the times the images that are portrayed are always negative, because we're not the ones pushing it out there. We could grab all the positive parts of our culture and broadcast that, but it's like, you know, negativity sells, so they pick and choose which ones they want to expose, and that's the issue in my eyes.
Can I hop in here real quick? Because I always play devil. Two things. I always play devil's advocate. That's the first thing, and the second, I'm an avid Kanye fan. So I could definitely play the other side right now. I know that everybody's I see where this conversation's going. So here's my question on it, right? when I heard that initially, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. Shout out to, y'all know who that is. She knows who she is. I had that conversation with her on this, and I looked at this more of agreeing when you're saying what Law was saying about sending it out to the masses, but when we're looking at things like we talked about DJing, right? We talk about equipment. Are there, and we're gonna go to ownership. Let's go to the ownership part. Are there actually black owned companies that we can go to purchase our equipment from? Is there black owned companies that we can go to say, I need to have this done, I want to purchase a vehicle, because that is what the culture perceives, it's starting to perceive it as, you need to have a foreign or something, you need to have jewelry. But are there actually black owned companies that we can go to? I think is what he's saying. Who's designing this for us, in the ownership sense of it? Who's designing it? I want to know your thoughts on that.
Cool. Matter of fact, y'all take the lead. I like where y'all head is at. So
yeah, you know, I had to play devil's advocate somehow.
Good job. Good. I was wondering how you were gonna spin that. You should work for Fox News, man. Like, for real. For real, bro.
I feel like we're merging two different entities, right? So there's culture, which in my opinion revolves around tradition and customs, and those traditions and customs being passed on. So with regards to hip hop, the traditions and customs that have been evolving from 1974 all the way to 2019, those customs and traditions that have facilitated the creativity that Sinista and myself have to put together an EP are still intact. Or else we wouldn't be here interviewing with you guys, right? We both have 9 to 5s, and that's it. We wouldn't be as creative in our, in this era of hip hop and exploitation of the art. You know? And that's the thing that I feel is getting intertwined and fused with the idea of culture is, yes, there's culture and there's exploitation of culture, but those two things are separated at the same time. You could still have culture and that culture be exploited and capitalized on and monetized as it's been over the course of, I don't know, the last, I want to say 35 some odd years. Like ever since Sugar Hill Gang released Rapper's Delight, culture has been exploited and monetized. But it doesn't necessarily mean that there is no culture. You know what I mean? But it's like I feel like Kanye's trying to fuse two different things. Does he have a point? Is he making sense? Yes, on some level, obviously, and especially in the country that we live in, America, like everything gets exploited, everything gets monetized. People want to make a quick buck out of the latest craze. So if it's breakdancing, we're going to film these kids spinning on their heads.
Right.
And once it dies out, then we're going to move on to the next phase or the next fad thing. And that's just a part of living in this country and being involved in a capitalist system. Everything you're going to try to, if you're thinking on business, on a business level, you're going to try to capitalize and make money off it. And Kanye West himself has done it.
Yo, what I sang during the video, you're such a fucking come on, bro. You can't, after saying that, you can't say this now. Like
exactly.
You're confusing as hell. You got to stay on message or nobody's gonna take you serious. You like the boy who cried wolf.
Here's the thing: Kanye West is promoting an album that is now like he's trying to.
Yo, wow. Yo, Deem, you see, I told you I did not believe this yay nigga, bro, with this Jesus is King shit, bro. and now all of a sudden he's Mr. Kim. Could you stop taking naked pictures for the gram? Yeah. Now all of a sudden it matters. So nah, Rob, you right, bro. You right, Rob. For real.
Who is monetizing the culture? You know, is it the quote unquote white power structure that he's talking about, or is it he himself? Does he have to look in the mirror and say, yo, well, you know, right now I have an album, and now I'm just gonna talk about this shit because it coincides with what I'm talking about on this album, and next year from that, he's gonna release another album, and he's gonna be on some other shit, like trying to get us all to believe that the Confederate flag is something cool to wear.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So that guy, man, like I'm ready to move on.
I just want to hop into the some of the comments in the chat. Yeah. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. We just run through them. We hop into the next topic. Urban Classic says she's sick of Kanye. What else we got going on in here? He really trying to sound deep. Meanwhile, he sound like a whole ass. Culture isn't materialistic. Jesus agrees with you guys. He said these are Snapples. I guess he means Snapple facts. Yeah. Urban Classic agrees. She says culture is influence. Let's see what else we got. She said drop mic as soon as you were done speaking, Rob. H. Blaze says Kanye has points but presents it poorly from time to time. Cartier Cool, what's up, man? Thank you for tuning in again.
What up, Cartier?
Shah says she agrees with you, Lord. Cartier Cool says, we're not the same. Drops December 24th. You got to plug in.
Yeah, you already got a record. Me and Cartier got that. We ain't the same dropping. Another shameless plug, but who cares, you know?
Jesus says, I think his point is more directed to where the culture is heading when you brought up social media and so forth. Technically, our culture is underground and not being pushed as much as other things. Right. Ernst World says, what's up, Rob? What's up, Sinister? That's DJ Ernst, by the way.
It's good, Ernst.
Urban Classic says him and his damn wife. His wife is the very vulture he's speaking on. Wow, with that
exactly.
Tiara says, honestly, Kanye made Kim the style icon she is today. All of a sudden, he's saved and wants to change the narrative. Wow. All right. So with that being said, with Kanye, let's go ahead and hop into this next topic.
Yeah, because your man's is getting crushed right now. You trying to change subject.
There's not enough time. There's not enough time.
Respect.
So at the last Revolt Summit, Chadwick Boseman came out and said that artists should work for free to create a humble beginning. Character building, I guess, was his point. I'm gonna go ahead and run that clip, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about that and get some opinions.
All right. Beginning is that you got to do it for the love, right? And so for me, it's always been. It's not about even people seeing it. What am I learning in the process of working with this person or that person? And so I did a lot of stuff for free. It works with your ego. It works with, everybody has questions and doubts about whether they should be doing what they're doing or not. And so your humble beginnings are always when you're questioning whether this is your path or not. And I definitely had those moments where I was like, this ain't for me, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna get a regular job. But I did my best to always stay in it, whether I could pay my rent or I had to borrow to pay it, or pay it the next month. Humble beginnings is that you.
All right, perfect. So, what do you guys think? In your careers, and also tell us about a time if that even happened to you. Like, what do you think? Should new artists work for free? What's your take on that?
Me personally, I know when we first came up, we did do things for free. I mean, and we only did things for free because we naturally had the love of music in us, and we just wanted a way to express ourselves. And we were given these opportunities by people. A lot of people offered to pay us. We took money sometimes, but then there was certain things we did for free. And it was only because we wanted to do it and we had so much love for the culture. And that still applies today. Some things we'll do things for free, whatever like that. I don't think you should necessarily have to work for free because you have to live, of course. And anybody that understands that if they're working, they shouldn't limit you to working for free. If they have means to pay you, they can. I think it's basically up to the artist if they want to work for free. To do it if the love in your heart. We've done things for free. We've done things for really good amounts of money, like $50 to $100. And to say it's a humble beginning, I agree with that. I agree that it is very humbling to do things for free. It keeps the love inside of you. It keeps it rooted inside of you. And for us, it kept us grounded to know that it wasn't just about the money for us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about that. It's like we naturally love this. Now to get paid for something that we love to do is actually great to do. Now, but we still have the love in us, and I don't think you should necessarily say that if somebody should do things for free. I think if they want to do things for free, it's because they want to. If you have the means to pay somebody, you should. You know, I agree.
Facts.
Right, 100%. You know, I've had those moments in high school, in college when I started DJing. I did gigs for $20 and 2 beers. You know, back then, college, you looked at that $20 like $100 bill, man. You know how much top ramen that is?
Real shit, bro. Mad cup of noodles, mad Easy Mac. Real shit, bro.
You buy 80 packs of those, I'll be straight.
For real. I mean, to me, working for free as an artist, I get it. At the end of the day, people always say artists are poor. You feel what I'm saying? Like, being an artist isn't something you get into for the money, because more than likely they're not gonna make a lot of money. So working for free at first, I get it if this is like a long-term vision for you. Like, if you have an actual goal to achieve, then yeah, start out for free, get your name out there, and just let people see your work ethic. The fact that you're willing to do this shit without getting paid the big bucks says a lot. So next time they're gonna be like, or they might even refer you to somebody that's gonna pay you. Like, yo, nah, he's amazing. I didn't even pay him. He did this. That's how you lead a story. Somebody's definitely gonna be more likely to be like, all right, I'll take the chance on him. And then your work speaks for itself. And on top of that, just in general, your work speaks for yourself, because the payment should be a secondary thing to the passion. You feel me? So if you got the passion there, you're gonna get paid, because people are gonna want to pay for this. You're gonna be that entertaining. They're gonna it's different. It's like you transcend shit and you actually make a personal connection with them, because they see how dedicated you are to the craft. So yeah, I believe like people should, like, not should, if you want to, if you could just get in the game and get paid off rip, then yeah, do it. Don't get too crazy, because that might make you lose yourself, and then you feel me, it becomes strictly about the wrong things. But if you have to work for free, take your blows like everybody else, man. I had to work at McDonald's, now I work for a hospital. You feel me? So everything takes time, and
I don't think it's necessarily working for free. I think it's using it to grow yourself creatively. If you're in a creative field, growing your brand. Networking, which is huge. You should be taking each one of these opportunities and seeing who you can work with after this. You know, you make the most of the situation. I wouldn't take it 100. Like, don't go into a situation where you're working for free and there's no opportunity on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Networking is a big. It leads you to get paid. Like you just said, the passion always leads you to the money. That's always going to be the narrative for artists. That passion first. Payment later.
Right. Shit. Let me jump in the comments.
Got a lot going on.
Word. Peralta knows best said, as an artist, we all been there. A lot of the times, even if it's free, you're still networking and putting your name out there. Other people are putting you on, but that doesn't mean do it forever. Facts. You got to know when to switch it up. Shy said it's not free to the heart. What you love to do feels good. Big facts. Peralta knows best says sometimes networking is worth a lot. Yep. Maddie Moore 973. Thanks for tuning in. Shy said, but just plan it out. If you know you need money, but it's a gamble. Matt Moore said facts. Shy said betting on yourself most times. Tiara said networking is key, and most times you'll take a free gig to build a clientele and relationships. Most of my relationships with friends have started freelancing. Respect. Matt Moore said, what's up, fellas? And he said, what up, Sin and Rob? Peralta knows best said exactly. That's why I say networking leads you great places. AK explains it all, said, nah. She said people need to respect you enough to pay. So you feel like out the gate, they just gonna respect you. Is that what you're saying? You gotta explain that a little more. Shy said you never know who's watching. Kyran 82, thank you for tuning in. Dr. Nate Crush, thanks for tuning in. Tiara said, always move like you're doing what you love and the money will come with it. Yep. Urban Classic said, if they had artists of today working for free with the trade of exposure, it might create artists that are more dedicated to their craft. Right. Right, because nowadays everybody says, yo, I'm just trying to get paid. Like, fuck you talking about it. I look at Blueface, you feel me? Like, he just all he care about is the bread, and then look at the quality of work he puts out. But that's a whole nother topic. Matt Moore said, you got to prove yourself. Yo, DJ Mike Medium, thanks for tuning in, bro. DJ Silfa, thanks for tuning in. And Kate McMurdo. I hope I said that right, but thanks.
Yeah. From Philly.
Okay. Philly in the building. Heard you. Respect.
But, yeah. 100%, man. So a lot of times we do see nowadays that those artists people do come out right away. Do you feel like they were learning the game the same way how those people who didn't work for free have?
No, I feel like me personally, I feel like nowadays you have to be on it before you get on, because the people that really get on, it's just like to the moon. You feel me? There's no build up. It's like you got exposure and now you're a Hollywood star, my nigga. And you look at somebody like a JID or somebody like that, you feel me? Somebody who you know is there and who's mentally stable, who actually looks to educate himself over time. Like if he just gets thrust into the shit, I feel more comfortable because I know he's gonna use his mental prowess in the right way, and then he has the monetary backing to like actually push forth his goals. Right. And a person like that, I appreciate it. Like, and you could tell the people, even like a Juice WRLD or like, you know, you could tell who's actually here for the craft, who actually has a brain on their shoulders, and who's literally just lucky that they caught that opportunity. Right. And now they're just eating off that shit until it stopped, because they know eventually it's gonna die out. Like J. Cole said in 1993 or 1985. It was 1985. You heard that track where he was talking about Lil Pump. Yeah. Yo, bro, that shit is real. Like these little niggas nowadays, like, I respect it. I respect the art. I respect the art side of it. Like you're actually creating something that might be sonically different and sounds so new that people just gravitate toward it just because it's different. But that doesn't make it good. Just like you could find a Gucci bag that's $2,000, but if it's ugly as fuck, the price tag did not make it good. You feel me? Like, so I like people that got brains, bro. I'm a sapiosexual. I like to say that. I'm attracted to people with minds. So like, if I like putting my mind forward with everything I do. I triple check before I make a move, before I say a word. You feel me? My brain always running. So if I see you're doing similar or better, which I hope is better, so I can learn something, I'm gravitating toward that. You feel me? That's how I see it. I educate myself on the daily. And if you don't, I don't know, man. Knowledge is the most powerful thing on this earth, B.
Facts.
For real.
Facts.
You had something you were gonna say, Sinister?
I was just, in reference to, the music these days. Like, I agree with what Lord said, but like, really, if you really think about it, like, all the good music, all the classical music was all made back then. Like, right now, you will never be able. For me, I don't know if I'm speaking for a lot of people. For me, you will never get none of these records that are coming out today. You're never gonna hear about them 10 years later.
Hell no. Hell no. Not all of them, but majority. Yes. 95%.
Go to Stephanie Mills, you can still play that in spots like that stuff that came out in the 70s and 60s. You can still play these things to this day. They're still 30, 40 years later. I don't see that happening with any of this music that's coming out today. I don't.
Like, people make memes and jokes about it. Like, in 50 years, this is me playing I Love It for my grandkids. Like, I don't know about these. Like, but Nick, I'm not gonna be 50 playing You're Such a Fucking Love. I love it. And like, yo, hey, little Timmy, you hear this? Like, nah, blood. Like, I'm not doing it. So like, I feel you 100% on that. Like, I kind of shudder to think what the hell the culture is gonna look like in the next 20 years.
Oh man, I'm really not looking forward to it.
Right, and as more and more of like the older generation that actually cared about the craft disappears, like what's gonna happen? There's nobody replacing them. It's not even if y'all want to be different, but at least get to a point where you have an appreciation for what came before. Because if you forget your past, how the hell, like, what you gonna do? How you gonna move forward if you forget your past? You gonna just repeat the same mistakes. You're gonna be stuck in this fucking paradox forever, wondering why y'all still worried about cars and bitches and money, but it's 2050 and nobody don't own shit. Nobody don't own the radio station. Nobody don't own the streaming company. Nobody don't own none of that. You feel me? So is to me it's scary, but then again, like, I have hope just because I speak to certain people and they do have that mental, and then I could rely on myself and Deem, and like, if we could do it, if we could push shit forward, I'll do that shit to the day I die. But as far as me personally giving up on the shit, I love this shit. You see who's behind me, man. You see who's behind me. I love this shit. This is my favorite artist ever. So as long as I got the breath, I'm gonna keep pushing this shit in the direction I feel like it should be going. And I don't think I'm crazy for that at all.
Facts. It's the same way we feel. That's what we're doing. Like, we feel we're even like a center of a difference, like a centimeter of a difference. We're still in that era, in that genre, to make that difference, and that's what we keep continuing to do. We do straight from the love and the heart, you know.
Yeah. And it starts with those humble beginnings, man. Yeah. Which, by the way, I was gonna ask, do you guys have any stories or anything about a time when you had one of those humbling experiences?
Oh, wow. Get humbled every day, man. Yeah, I mean, although people look up to us, and I appreciate that, and I think it's a great thing. We've been around forever. You know, I'm still here grinding, man, like trying to make sure that the bills get paid, and that, like, I wake up the next morning able to get food out of the fridge and all that. By no means am I poor or anything like that, but at the same time, I'm not rich. You know, like, you know, I'm a working man, and that alone is humbling. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like we are, quote unquote, the odd couple, and that's Mista Sinista, and I'm Rob Good. But at the end of the day, you know, I bleed like anyone else, and so I'm humbled just by that thought, you know. And by no means am I ever gonna, I think, ever look at myself or perceive myself as not a regular person, you know. So I check myself on a constant. And if I don't check myself, God's checking me. You know what I mean? Whether it's through a failed relationship or a failed gig or whatever it is, failed job, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, the minute you start thinking that you're bigger than what you actually are, because in the grand scheme of things, we're just minuscule in the grand scheme of like what this universe is, the planet that we walk on every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The minute you start thinking that you're like more important than the whole, that's when you get humble. You know what I mean? So I try to stay in check and stay aware and not let my head get too big, you know?
Okay. Everything that he said, that's what I think. I've had a lot of humbling experiences. I mean, I'm one to have a lot of them. There's a lot of work I did that humbled me a lot. I've thrown scratches to people, been in the studio, didn't get paid for it, throw scratches to people, and turn around and they have another DJ in the video doing my scratches.
Wow.
I'm like, all right, you know, and not even to get angry about it, you know, because I think it's a compliment. I'm like, you know what? I did the work, you know, I got paid. So it doesn't matter to me. I know I did it. The Lord knows I did it. And that person might have needed to work more than me and needed to get that exposure. And then there was times you went into the studio and people will tell you to come in and you scratch, got the credit, which is beautiful. But then they turn around and be like, yo, thank you. And everybody else is getting paid. They turn around and look at you and be like, oh, so thank you, man. I'm having to do some more work.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
But again, it's all humble. It's brought me to the point to where it is now. You know what I mean? So It's all learned experience, you know.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. It's all lessons that you take away from it.
That's
You
right.
never lose. You
Right.
never lose. You win or you learn.
That's right.
Facts.
That's
To
right.
improve the career, improve the craft, everything. Just gonna
Word.
run through some of these
Yeah,
the
I was
chat and then
waiting on Kyran comment right
you want
here.
go ahead,
son.
go ahead, bro. I'll let you
She
go
said,
then.
Kyran 82 said these kids are making millions already and haven't even proven themselves. That's what's ruining music these days.
Right.
Big facts. And that people even say that about like the NBA and the NFL and sports. Like they getting so much money and now they got players unions and this, that, and the third. So it's kind of taken away from the craft of the sport and it's more about getting paid and being on a super team. Ray. You feel me? Alex in the world said London represent. Yes, from the UK. Bless up. Kate 1357. What's up, Mr. Jesse James Lovin Jr.? What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Winter White. What's up, sis? Tiara said like Sawiti. So how you say her name? Sawiti? Sweetie.
Yeah.
So why is it Sawiti?
Lady
like
Saw.
what the word? Like she said she's over Sweetie. That's my Thai. Sit your ass. What? I don't know what you mean. Shy said, oh, that's my type. That's the Sweetie song.
Yeah.
That's what. Oh, she was saying sit your ass down. She's so annoyed with her. Yo, DJ Sage, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Tiara said, I'ma still sing it though. Yo, y'all annoying. T said, OD, her ass is crazy, but sis, oh my God. All right, scroll down. Tiara said, Joker laughing at the culture. We gonna have it in 2030. LOL. Shy said, facts. We're in a different era where these retarded ass rappers admit on radio stations that they're just here for the money. And the thing is, I don't think.
And they kill people.
Yeah, and they kill people. Welcome to the party. But T said, Jesse James said, great point. T said, niggas want to grill but can't afford a meal. Facts. DJ Rolly Row? DJ Rolly Row. Yo, what's goody? Shy said, Rolly Row, yeah. Shy said, we need to start blaming the radio stations. And I don't even think it's the radio station's fault because at this point there's so many mediums out there. You don't have. I haven't listened to the radio probably in a good year, like legitimately, or maybe longer. Like
now,
legit. Like I mean,
I only do it just to hear what you knew. Like that's the only reason I do.
I be trying to force myself, like yo, I can't get out of touch, but then I turn that shit on and I'm like, dogs, burn it with fire, like real shit. Tiara said, not the radio stations, blame the DJs. Ooh.
Whoa.
They said, shit, it got a little hot in here real quick.
now heated there. That's
Word. She said, blame the DJs. They set the tone and shift the mood at radio stations. But then again, you got the DJs at the radio stations that are afraid to play something that they think is nice because they feel like they're going to get in trouble with fire.
To blame Clear Channel.
Shy said radio stations promote these ignorant, untalented rappers, and then they play dumb looks. They don't understand why these people are making it. Shy said DJs be on the radio stations. Laugh my so. DJs like I don't. You got to rewrite that.
But I mean, the DJs don't have control on the radio. They have to
no,
play
I
a
was
certain.
late.
Yeah, they have a playlist that they gotta play. You know.
Word. Hold on. Who is Spice the Great? Yo, what's goody? Thanks for tuning in. Mr. Jesse James Lovin said radio stations are still receiving payola. That's why they play what they play. Ooh. Kyran said he not lying. He does. DJ Rolly Roll said, word, the odd couple is the greatest. Queens all day. Heard you. Yo, Prince Smith official, what's up? Tiara said, always humble yourself, kids. Mrs. Kenduck, thanks for tuning in. Earnswell said, I'm listening. I'm driving though, loving all of this. Salute. What up, T? Alex in Wonderland, ayo, killing it. Tiara said, like DJ Self, he has a request what songs you want, but Def play a playlist.
He plays a playlist.
Yeah,
the stations have playlists.
Yeah, and Joe Doe said these push button DJs is taken away from the culture of DJing. Oh, tell him again. Yo, DL Productions, thanks for tuning in, bro. But hey, man, I I don't know who the fuck. Honestly, in 2019, I don't know who gets the biggest blame. I feel like it rests with the artist because first and foremost, the producer gave you a fire ass beat that he worked on for dumb long, and then you got on there and laid some trash, and now you expecting the DJs to be like, "Yo, nah, I'm gonna play gatekeeper now and put myself in jeopardy so I don't play your trash." Instead of you just giving me fire, like, come on, bro.
You know
like,
who's to blame, bro?
Who?
Social media.
Social media gave a voice to the voiceless, and those voiceless motherfuckers just happen to like whack music. That's how I see it.
So we're gonna go ahead and hop in the last topic. With that being said,
yeah, we running out of time.
Yeah, we got about a little under 14 minutes to go. So let's actually run the clip. It's real short. It's Pioneer released a documentary talking about social media and DJs. We're gonna run that trailer for you guys real quick.
All the time, and a big chunk of that time is taken up by social media. I'm on it every hour of every day.
Every, I would say, 4 or 5 seconds, you want to know what's going on, and that's an addiction.
You see it when people go to clubs and they're filming. You're there, you're watching the set, but you're watching it through a screen.
When you used to go to a club, it was about the music, but it was about meeting people. And now it's about the music and taking photos of that music and posting it in real time, and not about the people around you.
Being at the clubs for a moment itself is all about being watched by the music. As soon as you pull your phone out, you lose all of it.
For the majority of people, you've got to have this presence, and you've got to be promoting your personality as well as your music.
I think social media is just so potentially toxic and lethal for a DJ's mental health.
So I want to find out what the implications would be if I come off social media to see if I can still be a DJ and it not have an effect on my professional career. So I'm on my phone all the time.
All right, so we now live in a social media era of society, culture, everything. I want to know your take on social media and careers as a DJ, careers as an artist. Is it something that you need now compared to earlier in your career? What's your take on social media and being an artist?
I love it. I think it's great. I feel as though it's provided a means for us artists to reach our fan base directly and generate relationships with people, whether they are fans or other like-minded artists or promoters, people that could put us in a position to reach more fans via touring, booking agents. I feel that social media is an amazing tool in the right hands. Right. And that's really what it comes down to, is who are you giving the smartphone with the IG app and the YouTube and the Facebook app on it? Are you giving it to someone that could take $5 and turn that $5 into $50? Or give it to someone that you could give $5 and then spend it on bullshit, right? So it really comes down to who is operating that IG handle or that Facebook handle or that YouTube page. There are people that use smartphones in very dumb ways.
That is the quote of the episode.
Word majority.
So you give them this powerful. This phone in my hand is fucking powerful.
Yep.
Powerful. And you give it to someone and they have a choice. They could post people fighting. They could post their problems. Or they could post, look, I'm doing this thing here and I'm getting better at it. I'm developing and create a following for what it is that they're passionate about. Me, personally, I don't think that I would have been able to grow my Brolic Army. Brolic Army is a legion of students that I teach worldwide, from New York to South Africa to South America to Australia to Asia, Singapore, Japan. Like, I have DJs that I've taught that live as far as fucking like Tanzania. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I do it all with this phone in my hand. You know, I post videos of the lessons that I teach with students, people that are aspiring to want to become better DJs, see these lessons, and then they realize like, wow, Rob teaches on Skype. I don't necessarily have to be in the same city. Let me hit him up and see if I could train with him. And then they use their phone to interact with me. And within a year, I've had students get in competitions and win battle.
Wow.
They're local in their city and then travel. I have one student that lives in Australia. I met him. He wanted to learn how to do the more intricate technical beat juggling style of DJing that you see in a lot of these competitions. I trained him, never met him in person. I live here in New York City, Queens. He lives in Australia, I think Adelaide. I taught him everything I know over the course of like 20 hours Skype lessons. Within 3 years, he was flown to London to compete in the World DMC Finals.
Wow. Oh my God.
Through this phone. You know what I mean? So I love social media, man, and it's done wonders for my career. And I'm blessed to have an IG page, and I'm glad that social media exists. And obviously, there's another side to it. You know, people use it for
wrong reasons. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really depends on the person.
100%.
Rob, you got first before you got some love in here. Kyran said, most importantly, Rob would have never met me without social media. You getting some love out here, like guy.
It's true. I always say, you hear me say all the time that I just feel like people need to learn how to use social media. Like there really needs to be classes because you can learn. I was learning how to speak Spanish and how to code using social media, but people weren't aware that this information is on Instagram. There are people on Instagram teaching you scratches. There's people on Instagram teaching you how to cook a meal.
Yeah.
Yep. Honestly, I agree. It's kind of like a gift and a curse. And like you said, it depends on who you give the tool to. Just like money. Money is a tool, but people look at it as something to be coveted and held on to and this, that, and it, like it's your lifeblood or something. But it's just a tool to either enhance or destroy something.
That's
and
right.
just like this phone, like you were saying, Rob, you created your Brolic army. I saw a few of the videos from your students that you posted. The one from South Africa, I think his name XP. Like he was doing this thing. Like but on the same end, you could have a nigga with a phone and you'll post up some bullshit about somebody else and destroy their whole image and destroy their career. You feel me? So
look at 6ix9ine.
Yeah, look at 6ix9ine. Exactly. So it all depends on whose hands it is in. And at this point in time, I feel like, I don't know, because you can't really limit people because then that's not freedom. Because even with pregnancy, sometimes I'll be like, yo, certain people should have to take a test to have a baby because you feel what I'm saying? Like not everybody should just be out here spewing out kids, like especially if you're going to raise them how you act. So just like with this, I feel like there should be some kind of limitation or at least like a class. It needs
to be taught.
There needs to be a class, like legit a social media class or a digital interaction class, something like that. Because this, to me, social media is just the world recreated online digitally. So the same shit that happens in the world, the same little bullshit clicks we create, the same little bullshit problems we created online, but it's just magnified now because everybody got a fucking voice. So instead of just the people in your high school making fun of you, the whole Western hemisphere is cutting your ass. And now you feel what I'm saying? So this right here, I love it. And I could never get an iPhone. I would always have to have an Android. I'm throwing out that plug just because iPhones kind of restrict their access. But with this shit, you could do whatever. Like you got North Korean niggas hacking Bitcoins, millions of dollars with a cell phone. You feel what I'm saying? With a computer, with a laptop. Like this shit is amazing, bro.
I think what it is, what we're getting at is it enhances our lives. It's become that fifth limb that we never had before. That's what social media is, that ability to connect. It's almost like telekinesis. Like I could connect with somebody in South Africa without even needing to be there. You would say that 20 years ago, you would sound like they would put you in a mental ward.
bro, look at it. I reached out to what you call it, to Patrick Cloud. I reached out to him on IG. We never spoke. He never seen us. I just reached out to him, and he took a chance and responded, realized what we had going, and then he came on the show. You feel what I'm saying? That shit, how the fuck was I going to speak to Patrick Cloud? Somebody who's got millions of followers, who's creating shows for All Def Digital. How the fuck was we going to speak to the Odd Couple, bro? You feel what I'm saying? Like you met Rob in person, but I never met y'all, but yet still I'm here talking to y'all.
Right.
Through this technology. This shit is amazing. You just got to use it the right way. Sure. And people abuse everything. There just has to be limits on this shit. But I don't want to take too long, because wait, hold on. She said that's why your picture quality is basura. How the fuck,
talking about Android?
Hey, talking about Androids, and when I'm not even using a phone right now, T, I'm not even gonna respond to you. You're crazy. But I'm not gonna take up too much more time because we're running out. So y'all wanna like promo, let the people know anything that you got going on?
What you got working on?
Man, just first I want to send you guys love. Thank you for having us on your show.
Thank you.
It's been fun talking to you guys and chatting and thanks to everyone that tuned in.
Yes.
Alex in Wonderland, Kyron, Kate, Rolly Roll, Mati. I also want to give a big shout to my students, the Brolic Army. I'd like to give an extreme, mega big, maximum shout out to the General, the Lieutenant General, that is, of the Brolic Army, my boy JF. And man, big shout to Fool's Gold. We got this EP dropping November 14th. It's called The Odd Couple. We just released a single this past Friday, November 1st, The Reappearance, featuring The Real DMT. So hopefully people will go to their Spotify and Tidal and iTunes and YouTube, all that stuff, and just check it out, man. And last but not least, this Friday night here in New York City at Interborough Spirits and Ale, we're going to be doing a release party for the EP and the single, and our boy Babito Garcia is going to be the guest DJ along with the Brolic Army. So man, a lot of good things on the horizon for us, and just again, thank you for having us on your show.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all for coming on, for real.
You guys dropped some gems today. We gotta go back and
for real.
Listen to
this is a lesson in and of itself. This is like a class just now.
Right,
for real.
Thank you guys. And shout out to everybody that did tune in today. Remember, Quality Time TV every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure y'all
don't forget, we are the only network rewarding you for your time if you watch on the website. We got I know nobody like a goddamn website in 2019. We got an app coming on the way, but that shit takes a lot of time and a lot of money. So unless you're trying to fund it, please don't rush us. But you can watch online and you can earn online. Just go to qualitytimenetwork.com. You know what it is.
All right, shout out DJ C Papa in the building. What's up, bro?
Yeah. Yo, what's good, C Papa?
Right. So tomorrow night, Hip Hop Rookie of the Year with Taylor L Jazz. That is at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure y'all tune in for that.
Yes,
and before Instagram cuts us off, we're gonna go ahead and say peace. Y'all don't know who it. Yeah, I hope y'all know who it is now. It's DJ Deem.
And it's your boy Lord, Uptown Bronx. We here, like I always say, I will rep to the day I die. I could live in Delaware, nigga.
I represent the universe.
Respect, bro. Yo, like I said, I'm a Bronx native but a world resident. But I'm trying to get to the universe, though. We ain't
DJ Deem of the Milky Way galaxy. What's
Milky
up?
Respect, bro.
Bio.
The Milky Way. Fuck that. Then I'm of the nebula. Something. I don't know. You feel me? I'm of the Andromeda galaxy. What you mean? Hotel, my lord. Hotel.
Let's go ahead and run the single again. We're gonna let y'all listen to that. Hopefully, Instagram don't kick us off a copyright.
Hold on. Before Tiara, fuck out of here. Uptown is not Manhattan. Uptown is the Bronx. You're talking about Harlem. I don't even know why Harlem calls itself Uptown. They're not Uptown. The Bronx is literally at the top. Ain't that up? It's called Uptown for a reason. Fuck out of here with that Harlem Love Charm teeth shit. Nah, but let's get to the clip.
Let's run. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right.
Sinista, Rob Swift. It's over ready.
Odd couple, ominous, obviously they opposites. Obscenely occupy the records with the hands of octopus. Opposition, open the oculus, overconfident, obstinate, off-center, incompetent, waste of oxygen. Populist, pop the popular, pitiful, pile playlist. P Professor Swift, the palette spin, the perfect picture painted, pay to pipe for a pile of paper if the people are pros. Point the pump, the bicep, brolic arm, the battle imposed. So see the spinning record, sizzle is swift and sinister, slay it. Send your sense of sound to Shangri-La to see what sages saying. Super Saiyan, sonic sensory, similar sound is unsung. Speed of swift when scratching and stabbing will sear you like the sun. Hands that have just half of its haste could be hardy hitties. Heart of hip hop, heated by Helios, hand heavy. Hearing hot tracks, gotta have it. Hype quarters.